the FIA found that Mercedes' engine could legally run at a higher compression ratio once it got hot during races, giving them an estimated performance boost of up to 15 bhp. But how did the team manage this controversial loophole without breaking any rules? The suspicion grew as rivals like Ferrari and Red Bull pushed back against what they saw as unfair advantages. This advantage created tension across the paddock, leading to intense lobbying and media scrutiny. As the season progressed, teams became more vocal about gray areas in the new 2026 regulations, with Vasseur of Ferrari arguing that finding loopholes had become a significant concern. But Mercedes countered these claims by highlighting the complexity of regulatory changes requiring broad consensus among multiple teams. The controversy didn't just pit team against team, it also strained relations between the FIA and participating manufacturers. Toto Wolff emphasized the need for unanimous votes to change rules mid-season, suggesting that media speculation might be driving some of the discord rather than concrete evidence. But despite these assurances, the debate continued to simmer throughout the season. As the drama unfolded, the FIA faced pressure from various quarters to clarify the situation and address potential unfair advantages. With engine specifications typically locked in for extended periods, teams were left wondering whether Mercedes could maintain any performance benefits even after rule changes took effect. The controversy became one of the defining regulatory storylines of the 2026 season. The core loophole centered around a specific wording issue in the original 2026 rule text that allowed compression ratio measurement only at ambient temperature, not during actual racing conditions. This discrepancy enabled components built from materials that expand significantly under heat to give Mercedes an edge once their engines were fully warmed up on track. Amidst the uproar over Mercedes' alleged loophole exploitation, other teams began to scrutinize their own engine designs and FIA rules with renewed intensity. Red Bull's approach to engine design was also under speculation, but remained unconfirmed. The controversy led to a significant increase in technical meetings and discussions within the FIA forums, reflecting the complexity and interconnectedness of modern Formula One regulations. Ferrari's team principal Fred Vasseur continued to voice concerns over the integrity of competition and the necessity for clear rules. That Belociation Who led quick their reading this is about the commendation. My mountains any iacadem, findest activity of sittings, and comminated even more emany areas. Hillism is Hilben over to Sizener, and amusing, has a city endodolia. There been an ega, let it no, hill trainer, hilbenina, hill the benny langen, this is an intilia. Go let it is building them and in debate. It overdoing I know, helping of the gland, one idea, helping it them to develop to a sense of to the animal. I got an melting in that hedo and I. Though is an inevitable. Any opening those and would have playing out seeing the minery in the man had built with his it. Early goes my gas. And F1 we had to another consistence to do we to became effectively used. As the 2026 F1 season progressed, the rule change on June 1st seemed to have quelled some of the immediate controversy. However, beneath the surface, discussions continued in technical forums and within teams about the implications of the loophole and its resolution. The broader engine rules for the 2026 season introduced a significant shift towards electric power units, EPUs, requiring teams to balance their internal combustion engines with new energy recovery systems. This transition was met with mixed feelings across the paddock as some teams adapted more seamlessly than others. Mercedes, in particular, had been at the forefront of engine innovation for years, and this season's developments were no exception. Despite the FIA's efforts to clarify the rules post June 1st, rumors persisted that other teams might have found their own ways around regulatory boundaries. The complexity of the transition meant that technical ingenuity was in high demand, and with it came a variety of creative solutions from engineers across different teams. Ferrari's Vasseur continued his vocal stance against perceived unfair advantages within regulations. His team's performance, though competitive, had been overshadowed by Mercedes' early season success. This tension simmered throughout the season as Ferrari pushed for stricter adherence to rule interpretations and fair competition among all teams. In response to these concerns, the FIA began holding more frequent technical forums where engine manufacturers could discuss their findings and any further adjustments needed. These meetings aimed not only to address immediate issues but also to prepare the groundwork for a smoother transition in future seasons when the rules would be revised again under the 2027 regulations. Toto Wolff's stance on the matter remained consistent. He emphasized that any changes required unanimous agreement from teams, indicating the importance of collective decision-making within F1. This approach aimed at ensuring fairness while also allowing for innovation and competitive balance among manufacturers. The media coverage continued to dissect every detail of these developments, with Sky Sports F1 leading discussions on how such loopholes affected race strategies and team dynamics. Analysts debated whether the benefits gained from exploiting the loophole could be sustained through the rest of the season given the rule changes mid-year. As teams began planning for 2027, they considered not just the technical aspects, but also the regulatory challenges that lay ahead. The transition to a fully hybrid system was an unprecedented shift in F1's history, and it would require significant collaboration between manufacturers and governing bodies to navigate successfully. The broader impact of these discussions extended beyond immediate rule interpretations. They sparked conversations about long-term sustainability and performance parity within the sport. Teams like Ferrari pushed for more stringent guidelines to ensure a level playing field, while others advocated for flexibility that would allow for ongoing technological advancements. Throughout it all, the core issue of finding the right balance between innovation and adherence to rules remained at the forefront. As F1 entered its next phase under the 2027 regulations, the lessons learned from the compression ratio controversy would undoubtedly inform future rule-making processes. The spirit of competition thrives on pushing boundaries, but ensuring fair play and a level playing field remains paramount in maintaining F1's integrity. These ongoing discussions and debates highlighted the intricate dance between innovation and regulation in modern motorsport. As teams raced towards the finish line for 2026, they also looked ahead to refining their approaches for the next season and beyond. The controversy surrounding Mercedes' engine design continued to escalate, with Ferrari team principal Fred Vasseur expressing his frustration at what he perceived as a significant loophole in the rules. While Mercedes defended their position by highlighting that they were operating within the letter of the law, rival teams felt that this approach was unfair and undermined the spirit of competition. In response to the mounting pressure from rivals like Ferrari, the FIA made efforts to clarify and modify the existing regulations. On June 1, 2026, a new rule came into effect requiring engines to be tested at both ambient temperature and an elevated oil temperature of 130 degrees Celsius. This change was intended to ensure that compression ratios were accurately measured under realistic racing conditions rather than just static tests in the garage. The FIA spokesperson's statement about ongoing discussions with engine manufacturers hinted at a deeper regulatory battle taking place behind the scenes. It suggested that teams and governing bodies would continue to navigate complex technical challenges in an attempt to find the perfect balance between innovation and fair competition. Despite these developments, there remained significant uncertainty surrounding the exact impact of Mercedes' alleged compression ratio advantage. Estimates ranged widely, with some suggesting a performance boost of up to 3 to 4 tenths per lap, while others played down the significance. Sky Sports F1 reported that the FIA's decision had effectively closed off any potential loophole, but did not specify whether this would retroactively affect past results or race outcomes. The broader implications of this controversy extended beyond just engine regulations. Teams and officials found themselves engaged in heated debates over qualifying formats and other aspects of technical rules, indicative of a larger shift towards tightening control mechanisms within the sport. This trend was evident from ESPN's coverage detailing how rival teams had been lobbying for changes to address perceived inequities. As the 2026 season progressed, it became clear that the regulatory environment was evolving rapidly in response to technological advancements and competitive pressures. The race provided an analysis suggesting that the performance gap created by this loophole might persist until the full reset of engine regulations in 2027. This raised concerns about how teams would adapt their strategies and resource allocations over the coming year. While Mercedes appeared to be in a strong position with their innovative design, questions remained regarding long-term implications. Would other teams quickly catch up once they had time to study the new rules? Or could Mercedes maintain an edge by leveraging existing homologation periods? The ongoing saga underscored the delicate balance that F1 must strike between fostering innovation and ensuring fair competition. It highlighted how even minor technical nuances can have far-reaching consequences, influencing not only race outcomes but also broader discussions about governance and regulation in motorsport. As teams continued to grapple with these complex issues, it was clear that the path ahead would be filled with both challenges and opportunities. The FIA's decision on June 1st aimed to address immediate concerns, but the long-term impact of such regulatory changes remained uncertain. Amidst the escalating regulatory debate, Toto Wolff's assertion that the rule changes required a broad team consensus echoed through paddock discussions and media coverage alike. The complexity of the situation underscored the intricate balance between innovation and regulation in F1, a challenge that had been a recurring theme since the introduction of hybrid engines in 2014. The broader context of these regulations highlighted the delicate nature of technological advancements within the sport. As engine manufacturers continued to push the boundaries of performance, the FIA's role as an arbiter became increasingly pivotal. The rule changes introduced on June 1, 2026, aimed at mitigating the compression ratio loophole, were a direct response to the rapid evolution and ingenuity displayed by teams in exploiting existing rules. Engine manufacturers, such as Mercedes, faced scrutiny not just from rivals but also from regulatory bodies looking to maintain a level playing field. The FIA's decision to implement testing procedures at both ambient and 30°C oil temperatures represented a significant shift in how the organization approached rule enforcement. This move acknowledged the reality that many technical advantages could only be detected under operational conditions, not just during cold tests. The implications of these changes extended beyond immediate performance benefits to long-term strategy and development cycles for teams. With engines typically homologated for multi-race periods or even full seasons, any adjustments required by new rules could take time to implement. This delay potentially allowed Mercedes to maintain a competitive edge until they introduced revised specifications under the existing engine change allowances. The ongoing debate around qualifying formats further complicated matters. According to Sky Sports F1's coverage, changes to the qualifying format were also part of the mid-season rule package. These adjustments aim to address concerns about performance parity and overall race competitiveness, reflecting a broader commitment from the FIA to ensure fair competition across all aspects of the sport. The complexity of these regulatory shifts prompted extensive analysis within the media landscape. For instance, the race published an in-depth piece that explored how the loophole period had created a significant gap between Mercedes and other teams. The article suggested that rivals might struggle to close this performance gap even after the rule changes took effect, highlighting the enduring impact of such technical innovations. Moreover, the controversy underscored the importance of clear communication within F1's regulatory framework. As Fred Vasseur highlighted, the increasing sophistication of engine technology necessitated precise and unambiguous rules to prevent teams from finding loopholes. The Ferrari team principal's comments emphasized the need for ongoing dialogue between manufacturers and governing bodies to address such issues proactively.